advice do you have to homeowners?
Practicing that preparedness. Starting the conversation now is always going to be a benefit to any association out there.
And welcome to Recovery Report Live. I'm Dan Odess, president of GlobalPro, where we manage your risk to recovery. And man, do we have a special Recovery Report Live for you here today, because today marks 9 years since we started our business here at GlobalPro, helping policyholders, whether it's placing insurance to recovering from loss. We have been doing this day in and day out for thousands of community associations, business owners, homeowners alike, handling more than $1 billion in recovery. And we want to continue providing you information you can use as policyholders, whether it's placing the insurance and recovery from loss, whether it's making business decisions, acquiring real estate, to managing your risk in any sort of way that may help you and protect you in the future. Because as many of us have experienced due to the pandemic, we have struggled to get back to normal. Many businesses have taken advantage of that opportunity to grow. Some have unfortunately seen the other fate of that and are trying to retool and reconfigure the way in which they operate. And obviously with these struggles and these challenges comes new opportunity. And I'm going to be joined later today with two individuals that I had an absolute pleasure to meet coincidentally at an Inc. 5000 conference, when GlobalPro and their company were recognized as two of the fastest growing businesses in the United States. And they were full of a bunch of knowledge, and certainly people that I admire, and I can't wait for them to join us. But before we get there, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that are going on in our community. I had the opportunity to talk with the Miami Beach Resiliency Committee yesterday about the resiliency efforts in the South Florida region, which are similar to those that are going on, whether it's in California and Texas, New York, and other coastal areas that are seeing significant increases in their insurance, as well as major efforts and raising a tremendous amount of money to try to build a more resilient community. And my focus was on the impacts of the resiliency efforts and the way in which the insurance companies are responding to damage caused to neighboring properties, or the credits that are being associated with some of the resiliency efforts made. And while there may be this misconception in some regards that while making our communities more resilient will lead to reductions in insurance or added benefits, it's causing damage along the way that otherwise could have been avoided had there been some sort of measure of care. And the presentation that we presented was Resiliency with a Measure of Care. It's available on the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce website. We're going to be presenting that same presentation several more times. We were joined by dozens of professionals and pillars in our community to talk about important issues such as seawall construction, and when you're building a new seawall, which is required for that new construction development site, how it's impacting the neighboring properties, such things as ground cover collapse or failures in those seawalls due to the vibrations from putting in the newer seawalls, the shoring and the pounding and the compactors that are using to really toughen up the land so that you can build these massive structures that are being permitted and approved on a daily basis. And the growth isn't slowing down anytime soon. So it's important that we take a measure of care when we are building a more resilient city, and we look at the impacts of those efforts in and around those properties, and making sure that we are in fact recovering and rebuilding properly. Because as we talk about a lot, the signature process here is ready, recover, rebuild. It is a cyclical process, and we want to make sure that during that cycle, that what you are doing doesn't in any way negatively impact you in the future. And that goes for new construction projects next door and potential deals you may enter into with construction projects next door, and how those may impact or prejudice your rights under your own insurance if they cause damage to you. These are all important factors that need to be considered when these projects start and as they progress up until finish. And when they do finish, there may be issues that we find thereafter or later on. So we want to look above ground, because there's a lot of focus on FEMA and flood when it comes to resiliency. We want to look above ground, and we want to look beyond the job site and see the measure of impact that we're having in our community. But speaking of impact, our guests that will be joining today have made certainly a big impact in their industry. certainly with the recognition, I think the 3-time Inc. 5000 recognition, they very active on social media. And I say they because husband and wife, and I'm so glad. I'm actually just going to bring them on here so they can join us and we can skip right into our question and answer here. So Victor, Tania, thanks for joining us. I know you took a quick overnight flight to Vegas just for this show, so I'm very excited that you've all joined us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be here.
Good morning, Daniel. Thank you for having us. I'm Tania Pena.
And Victor Pena.
So, and they're with Omni Professional Printing, or Omniprint. So, and I want to talk a little bit about your business. So I apologize, Omniprint International. And I want to talk about that because I talk about your business, how you guys started, and what it means to you as far as what's important for growth and strategy. I participated a little bit in your social media and got to watch a little bit about the strategy session. I love how you do your team meetings. A lot of things that are in common with what you guys do, we do here at GlobalPro, including the P in the name. And a lot of times people don't get that right here at GlobalPro. The P is capitalized, and with Omniprint, the same thing. But when you guys have these strategy sessions and you talk about your wins and you talk about what's going on, what is the single greatest factor that has led to your continued success?
Yeah, so again, guys, thank you for having us here. It's always important to share. Our biggest mission is to empower business owners and entrepreneurs globally to thrive with our print-on-demand solutions, right? So we help people set up e-commerce businesses in the apparel space that want to, design shirts or stuff like this that people do, where the concept is they could set up their own business and they would sell first, then print and ship in an on-demand fulfillment method, right? So, and we're all about that community of customers and entrepreneurs. And that having a huge mission and a huge goal is super important for us and also for the team, because when it comes to growing your business, the mission's got to be big, So our mission and our vision have to be even bigger, right? So and it translates into all these things that we do with our team, and we haven't perfected it yet, right? But we're striving every single day to make sure that the team has big targets, they have big wins, that they go for their own personal, professional, financial life, with in turn aligns with the business, right? So that's kind of how we've been working towards it, and like I said, we strive to do it because the mission's so big, and we also get coaching all the time from our mentors on how technically we should be able to be doing that, right?
What can we do? What can we change? What can we add? How can we make it more impactful? How can we make it more meaningful? Not just for the people in our team, but also for the people that we serve. Because at the end of the day, we are here to help families start businesses or expand their current print-on-demand businesses. So that's kind of like what we have set up to be able to help and impact families throughout the world, and one machine at a time.
Yeah, because you guys, what I love about your messaging is that there's a lot of businesses that are in product. They just sell through a product, but you're selling more than just a product, right? You guys are helping people actually set up businesses. I mean, through a lot of your messaging is very positive, and I love it, honestly. So talk to me a little bit about the background Omniprint. I mean, Victor, you founded it in 2004, right? Like, what was your goal when you got into this business? Like, what did you want to achieve? 2004. I mean, you think about it. I'm not even sure the iPhone even existed then. So, I can imagine that business has changed quite a bit. So, from 2004 to today, I mean, what I mean, man, I want to get in the print business? What was that? What was the desire that what pulled you in that direction?
Yeah, so man, that's a great question, because it might help somebody out there, really, because how do you do something great? You got to get started somewhere, right? And you know how a lot of people say, hey, I just want to do a business with what I love, right? Honestly, for me, it was quite different. It's I'm an immigrant from Mexico, right? We're here, 6-7 years old. You don't speak the language. And the reality is, at the beginning, you want to do something where you can actually like make some money, right? Make some money, feed yourself, and forget about the life of scarcity, right? So that was it. That's the initial hustle to do something, right? And then when I did construction actually to pay for my education that way, and I would see like, hey, you know what, I want to do something different, because construction is kind of tough. Right?
Yeah, I know that well. Like I said, there's a lot of things in common we have besides the P. As I started in construction too, and now I'm doing insurance work, so a lot of things in common between us. Yeah.
So I saw an opportunity there, because my education is tech. I'm in electronics and computer, right? That's what I went to school for. And there was no iPhones, there was none of that. But the idea is, printing is so solid, right? And I saw a big roadmap where you can do more modern things in the industry, right? So that kind of kept me interested, right? Because my attention span is not great, so I got to be interested in something to keep it rolling, right? That's kind of the beginnings. And I started with just working on what kind of machine. I saw that the t-shirt market was ripe to do something new. So that was kind of the very beginning of it, and I just started at bootstrap.
I can imagine. And Tania, you joined, and obviously there's major changes in the household there. I guess I love the title that you have, your role, and what does it mean for you as far as the growth?
Of course, definitely. So I had the opportunity to join my husband in this mission about 3 years ago. So we were in completely different industries, but I since day one, we've been together for about 8 years. Since day one, I saw how passionate this man is, and I fell in love with the mission and with his purpose in life. So what better way to help and impact and to make it change in people's lives than with the person that you love. And that certainly changed different aspects of the household, but yes, honestly, it's very, very worth it to us. For me personally, it has changed my life dramatically, but in a positive way. We, instead of pulling aside, now we get to pull together, which makes us way more stronger, which makes the environment way more positive. We understand each other to a different level, and we continue to push each other. We literally push each other on a daily basis. So that is invaluable. That is something that if people out there have the opportunity to help their significant other impact more lives, it is stronger when the household is pulling towards the same direction 100%.
Yeah, and I would say that's even true if you're not even working together, but it just so as long as you have the same direction, the same goals, and it certainly will lead you to more happiness, and I definitely am a big advocate of that. I'd like to say that we practice that in my household as well, but it certainly met with some challenges. But you guys, I mean, I think the goal goes beyond just the workplace. Very avid, working towards that work-life balance. I definitely see you guys focusing on your health and fitness, and making sure that that's a part of it, obviously part of your messaging too. And You use social media a lot as part of your business. How has that changed during the pandemic, and how have you been able to leverage the new opportunities through social media?
Yeah, that's a great question. We a couple of years back, we were really not on there, right? I had 2 followers. One was my wife and one was my mom.
Guilty.
I love it. Yeah.
And
now we post 12 times a day.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea is like how much presence, right? So I feel like we're not even started. If you look at what our company's posting and what I post, like we need to do 10 times as much posting. Why? Because we want to be where the eyeballs are, and we want to be where you're inspiring someone on the other end, right? So I didn't really put my foot on the gas on this thing until we've all done trade shows. You know how brutal they are, right? So
yes.
Yeah. So somebody comes somebody comes to me at a show and they're like, hey, you know what? I got one of your machines because I was following you and I'm inspired by this and that you're doing. And it had nothing to do with print quality, cost per print, speed. Like it didn't have anything to do with the metrics of the equipment. They wanted to build something for their families, and they're like, I believe in this guy. I'm gonna go all in, right? So then there's countless stories like that and messaging that I get, and it fuels me to like put my foot on the gas and put more stories. Because if you look at the analytics, where else can you get 3,000, 5,000 eyeballs on something for free, right? And it's just crazy. So, if you guys out there can start leveraging what you're doing and be omnipresent when it comes to what your message is on everywhere, right? TikTok, Instagram. Some of them I don't know how to use yet, but I post. Like TikTok. I don't know. It is what it is, right? But
don't show our age, Victor. Don't show our age, man.
But it's super powerful to expand the message holistically, right? All throughout.
If I may add to that, like also something that kind of keeps me. Sometimes I get a little shy on the posting and all this exposure, and it's fun, but I need to keep reminding myself, and I'm sure Victor does that too, that if we don't put or if you have a great product or service, you need to put it out there. Otherwise, you're doing people a disservice because they can't find you because they don't know you exist. So stop thinking about yourself, thinking about the lives that you can impact instead.
Yeah, and I think you see a lot of the bigger social media influencers, more recent than ever, saying stop trying to polish up the video, stop spending so much time in production rooms, just authentic, real content, put it out, people will eat it up. And I think that's important, just to keep driving an interest. And we've taken more of an interest here at GlobalPro and trying to figure out a way, because God knows insurance is not really a sexy topic, and not many people want to talk about it. So, we're trying to liven it up with all kinds of different things, like doing this show and, doing other things. But we want to get outside the production room too and do it. It's complicated. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of work. I applaud your guys' efforts. Certainly taking that step forward. You can see that it's made an impact on your business. It's obvious. And we want to, and definitely, I would encourage anyone to jump in there, give it a shot. And we're talking a lot about technology. In your profile on LinkedIn, it says technologically obsessed. And Victor, I know you have a background in it. What does that obsession mean for you, and what's coming in your world that's changing?
Yeah, so I'm all about what can we do bigger, better, faster, right? And I've never seen a time where technology's it's been accelerating so much, right? So I like to everybody in my business knows that I want to make sure that you understand the platforms, that you understand your metrics. You understand like applications that can help you, move the business forward, right? I don't like the sticky pads, anymore, although it's needed, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I look at, all right, yes, I'm in printing, right? But I'm connecting all my devices together, right? I'm making sure that I have a big component when it comes to integrations and workflow automation and a SaaS product or a software product linked to the printer. We're working on mobile apps for our customers so that they can easily order and connect with each other and offload jobs, right? So we're after a on-demand, let me rephrase that. So if we're gonna get to our mission, right, to help our customers globally, then we have to give them tools and software and technology where if somebody orders a product around the world, it could actually be produced, printed, and into your doorstep tomorrow in that local city where the customer ordered it, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we're at when it comes to putting so many machines out, connecting so many customers together that allow us to do that, right? So technology is a big part of that. We have all of our teams, R&D internal, right? So even our software programming is internal. We have a team of 10 guys that work on our stuff. And I started offloading a lot of different jobs. One job that I haven't offloaded is R&D. I still manage all of the R&D innovation part so that when I get an idea from the customer, I can implement downstream super fast, right? So that technology is a big part of our business.
Oh, I can imagine, and I think that goes. Anyone that's listening into this and take from your success is being able to innovate. Just the idea that you don't want to cap yourself or stop yourself from innovating. You always want to be constantly pushing, and the craziest idea could be your next best idea. So I think
that's a great point, because if you look at, for example, we're in a marketplace where I don't like to call them competitors. I like to call them like the people that are in the same space, right?
That's your best R&D though, man.
Yeah. So when you took trade shows away, we're doing 22 trade shows a year. We pivoted because all our technology knowledge. We did a big web show. April 16th of 2020, before they even knew what their strategy was going to be. We were already hammering. We have more leads than we know what to do with because of being able to get them from online and e-commerce versus trying to hold on to see if the shows are going to reopen, right?
Yeah.
And that gives us leverage. But at the same time, it inspires customers to say, hey, you know what? If these guys can do it, maybe it's not that much doom and gloom. Let me see how I can pivot my print shop and do this and do that, right? So those are some of the reasons why we just do that kind of stuff.
Well, and I always say that, it's funny you say that about competitors, right? And the use of that word. We got to coin another phrase for it, because same thing I struggle with it. I'm like, well, I don't know if they're competitors, but I would say that, they do or try to do what we do, and there are good bases of comparison as to why you would want to hire us rather than them. And it's not out of arrogance. It's just they do different things, and I would hire them if that's what I was looking for too. And I think that definitely resonates. And I think that especially in today's world, with the way that things are moving so fast, there's so much you can learn from other people in your space. And as part of our R&D is to look at what they're doing, whether you like it or not. I mean, that's their message. That's what they're doing. And there's always something to learn. And I definitely think that's important, especially, and I'm sure all of them are looking at you anyways. Because you guys are at that other level, and everyone wants to be there, and they'll do anything to try to tear you down at that point. But the reality is that they would love nothing more than to emulate every single thing you're doing and to be there. But I want to pivot a little bit away from the print business and talk about something else you're doing, which I can tell that you guys got way more active in, real estate. What has that meant for your long-term goals and your long-term growth as individuals or as a couple, personally, and for your business?
Yeah, so that's a great point. Now, let me tell you a little story, right? So I told you I was doing construction,
Yeah.
and it happened like so many times where I'm like the plumber or the electrician or the remodel guy in somebody's flip, right? I'm in my early 20s, and I would see these guys roll up in their Range Rover with their hot chick, and I'm over here like doing the stuff that's gonna make them a couple $100,000 on that deal, right? I didn't know that at the time, and I'm like, man, I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy, and it stayed with me as I went through school and started the business and all that. And like, what can I do to take my first flow and put it in an indestructible place that it could grow, and then you can have a different source of income long term. So that got me into multifamily real estate, where we primarily invest in apartments, and my first unit was or my first building was 8 units, and that was all through learning on YouTube how to do it, how to do the math, how to buy it, and I had that passion to get it done. I just didn't know how to get started like most people. So YouTube University on that. That
Isn't it amazing? Yeah. And, no, I share that with you. That's we started acquiring real estate here as well through a GlobalPro Venture, our subsidiary company that manages that stuff. So it's again, there's a lot of everything down to the capital P, man. We are connected in weird ways here. So,
big time.
Yeah. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Another thing that we do a lot is charitable, and I noticed on your website something I didn't know about much. It was obviously preparing myself for the interview and talking with you guys. Talked about this foundation, and then I want to, we'll wrap it up with the toast to kicking off our 10 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Talk to me about this foundation that you guys clearly promote on your website. I know that it says that a portion of every purchase there's a donation made to it. Why this foundation, and what does it mean to give back?
Yeah, so there's a couple different things that we do every year, and I started doing this even when I didn't have money, right? Because I gotta tell you, stuff comes back, right?
Yep.
And so some of the things that we're passionate about. Actually, Tania is the one who handles like all of that. She's a boss when it comes to the relationships and making sure that people are legit when you hand money to them, right? So we like.
Are you real?
Yeah. It's tough now, man. It is really hard. Yeah.
So we like doing stuff where we're helping our troops, right? So the Gary Sinise Foundation is good for that. They don't siphon the money and expenses. They actually go and do a lot of stuff to give back to the troops. So we're passionate about that.
We actually went to visit them in LA. They have a facility in LA, and they have
awesome.
like this museum that it's literally, they walk you through like all the changes and the improvements and how they have helped families throughout with the foundation. And it's just very, very, very special to our organization to be able to do these kinds of things, because if we are able to, we must. And as well as another foundation that we have helped throughout the years is Chalk Hospital. It's they provide health services to kids that don't have the resources to that their families don't have the resources to tackle whatever issues they're having, and we're actually going to participate in a virtual walk upcoming in May 22nd. So we're super excited to be part of giving back to the community that is at the end of the day, it's the foundation for all the families that we want to help.
No, I think it's great, guys, and it's been an absolute cornerstone at GlobalPro, the whole giving back being a foundation. And it's funny you say that, Victor. It literally was one of the first initiatives I had at GlobalPro, was doing a charitable run to collect goods for hurricane victims at the time in 2012. So I get it, and I think those that don't get it, I really think you need to look closely at your business plan and strategy. If you don't think community is important, you're kidding yourself. And if you're not giving back in some way as a leader, then I don't think that you're doing anything more than trying to run after that first dollar, and more than likely are going to fail anyway. So
I think it's part of our core values too, community, right? So that's if we didn't do that, that would violate that core value. But let me tell you something, right? For one thing that does give you a super huge mind shift, right? We pretty much came from the bottom of the barrel, right? With scarcity mindset about holding on to every penny, right? Nothing is going to relieve you of that mindset than actually taking money and giving it to someone else. And you're going to be like, it's going to be uncomfortable, right? But you're going to be like, okay, well, how do I repeat it? I need to go get more money. And it changes your mindset. And that's super important about giving too.
Yeah, and I think when you go to these foundations too as a team and you do these things, you really gel, and it builds a stronger unit. And I think you can accomplish so much more with it. Well, I know we're going a little bit long here and I've really enjoyed this time with you guys. I really have. But coming to South Florida, are we new office location?
Hey, we love Florida. We love Florida.
Yeah. All right. Hey, well, I'm excited.
Everybody's setting up Plan B, leaving California, right? So.
Yeah.
But actually, for us, it's important to have. We have a lot of East Coast customers. They want their product faster. They want their East Coast support. We're still napping when you guys are at lunch.
I like that. Yeah.
So that's why we've been looking, and real estate's super hot over there right now. It's bonkers. So we'll find something.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, I want to kick off our. And this is obviously selfishly driven, but at the same time, what two people would I want to kick this off with on the Recovery Report other than you? I met you guys at the time of a big milestone in our company where we were recognized on Inc. 5000. I thought we'd creep in there, 3,000, 2,000. We nearly broke 500. We were at 581. I was totally floored when I found that news out. It was a moment my wife actually caught on video. It was awesome. And then I end up we end up out west. We meet you guys, Elliot and I, my senior, our VP, who's in charge of technology, out of our DC office, and just immediately clicked. And we got to sharing each other's success. We kept running into each other. And so today marks 9 years from my day one. And thank you. Yeah, we are going to be starting a countdown to our 10-year anniversary, and every month we're going to be putting out content about all the things that we've accomplished and done, as well as teasers as to what's to come and what we're going to accomplish in the future, from technology to real estate to the insurance services we're providing on a continued basis. And on top of all that, my team is actually going to move into, for the first time ever, our new facility, our new office that I'm broadcasting from today. So this is a big year for us. It's a countdown to 10 years. I know we sent you a beautiful bottle of champagne. I'm going to enjoy a quick sip of our delicious Dalmore branded scotch here. I know it's a little early for you guys in Vegas. It's almost 12 o'clock here in Miami. I figured regardless, it's worth a shot. Thank you. Yes. All right. But you're in Vegas, and Vegas never sleeps. And you can drink champagne literally 24/7, and no one even care.
You can drink champagne for breakfast here, so it's not awkward.
No, yeah, it seems normal.
We're technically in your time.
Oh, okay, very good. Well,
huge congratulations, GlobalPro, for killing it, and blessings, success. Many more years to come.
Yeah,
congratulations on the new office too.
Guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you. And here to your success and to more to come. Thank you. And hope to see you here in South Florida.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
We'll let you know.
All right, guys. Well, how does the audience find out about Omniprint International?
Yeah, so just we're omnipresent everywhere, right? So go to @Omniprint International or omniprintonline.com. And just follow us. And where can they follow you?
On Instagram at Tania E Pena or Victor_H_Pena. So we're reach out if you guys need anything, need some inspiration, you're stuck. We're gonna do a lot more educational content. Like I said, I feel that we're not even started, right? So
it looks that way. Yeah, it looks that way. I mean, every time I check you guys' social feeds, I mean, there's always something you guys are doing. You're always on the move. It's awesome to see it. And again, bottom of my heart, thank you guys for taking the time to join. I know it's early there. Thanks for going to Vegas for us to celebrate.
Yeah,
I wish I could join you, but but enjoy your time there. Stay healthy, stay safe, and continue to grow, guys. Wish you nothing but the best, and love to see your success and to celebrate it with you guys in the future. All right.
Likewise. Huge congratulations again on all the success.
Thank you, guys. Well, that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Recovery Report Live. But as a reminder, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow us, like us on all the social media platforms. We want to continue to provide you information that you can use as a business owner, as a community association, or as a homeowner to protect your interest, whether you're investing in business or other businesses or real estate, to making sure that you're getting the insurance you need and recovering from the loss as you should. So reach out to our team anytime, 24/7. We are here to protect your interest. So to find out the latest information though, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Join us every week on the Recovery Report Live for information you can use. We're going to constantly bring on guests that you can engage with, ask questions. We are excited about the Penas joining us here today. We are excited for their success, and we hope they join us in the future here in South Florida, maybe for a live broadcast in the Griffin studio. Who knows what's going to happen, but super, super grateful for them taking their time to do it. And here's to 9 years, and to celebrate the countdown to 10 years, we hope you continue to tune in. And if you like us and follow us, you'll be getting all the information about all the things that have contributed to our success. And it goes way beyond our team. It's the community. It's the people that have encouraged us and have trusted in us to represent their interest, whether it's placing the insurance, recovering from loss, working with them and strategizing in their businesses, making sure that they're making decisions that are right for them and protecting their interests from start to finish. So again, thank you everyone. Make sure you go check out our website, getglobalpro.com. On that website, you will find information that is about all the things that you need to do, whether it's downloadable documents, whether it's recordings of testimonials from our other prior clients about the experience. Go ahead and check it out. Again, thank you to the Penas for joining us here today for the toast, and join us next week on the Recovery Report Live.